My father forgot to end the call. She's a leech, a letdown, never should have existed. I listened, frozen. For 6 years, I'd paid their $2,100 monthly expenses. The next week, I sold my $870,000 upscale home, transferred ownership, and vanished. They returned from their Mediterranean getaway, grinning until their key failed. The house was bare. Taped to the door, a post-it note. Shock. This is what a leech can do. It began with my father's oversight. I wasn't meant to hear. I'd called about some vehicle registration forms, a minor task I'd handled for him, as always. He said he'd check a file in the shed and set the phone down. Didn't disconnect. Left it on the living room table, unaware. At first, silence. Then footsteps. A chair groaned. Then his voice, sharp and icy. She's a leech. A letdown. Never should have existed. I didn't stir. Just sat. Phone glued to my ear like a kid eavesdropping at a locked gate. He wasn't mad. That's what hit hardest. No shouting, no ranting, just stating it, like it was undeniable. To my mother, I assume. Maybe to no one. It didn't matter. The words struck the same. A leech, a letdown. 6 years I'd covered their mortgage gaps, credit card balances, hidden utility bills. Silently. Without demands. Without ever flaunting it. That month alone, I'd sent $2,100 for their health insurance because my father's knee injury kept him off work. Yet, I was the leech. The mistake that should have been erased. I didn't end the call. I let it linger, long after they noticed it was live. Heard the kettle whistle. Chuckles in the distance. Everyday calm, as if they hadn't just shredded their only daughter. When the call dropped, maybe he saw, or the battery quit, I didn't weep. Didn't speak. Didn't budge. Just stared at the curtain, hoping for clarity. I don't know how long I sat, numb. Time blurs when your world halts. The next day I visited the credit union, not for vengeance, not yet, just to assess. My upscale home's mortgage was nearly cleared. The latest valuation hit $870,000. I had choices, hidden strength, only I knew. I scheduled a consultation with my property attorney, inquired about ownership transfers, deed changes, confidentiality measures. I didn't blink when he quoted the cash sale proceeds. It felt automatic, like constructing a device I didn't yet grasp but had to complete. I told no one, not friends, not colleagues, certainly not family. I went to the office, greeted neighbors warmly, sent the usual "enjoy your trip" text when my parents jetted off for their Mediterranean vacation, a trip I'd partly funded when they were strapped after remortgaging last spring. Then I packed. Everything. Methodically. Sold the house. Transferred the deed. Rerouted all. Mail. And vanished. Let them laugh in Athens. Savor tapas in Barcelona. Snap photos by the Colosseum. Let them relish every second until their key failed. Until they saw the post-it on the door. Shock. This is what a leech can do. I hadn't always seen myself as valuable. That came later. First, I was the dependable one. The organizer. The problem solver. The daughter who noticed details, never missed a payment, a celebration, a due date. Who carved her own path, stayed humble, earned well, and asked for nothing. At first, I thought that sufficed. They didn't demand much outright. It began with, "Your dad's knee's flaring up. Can you cover the electric this month?" Or, "Your sister's college fees crept up. We'll repay you, promise." They never did. Eventually, they dropped the pretense. When they needed $1,800 for roof repairs post-storm, I sent it. When their SUV stalled and they called frantic from a roadside, I paid for fixes. When property taxes lapsed and my mother sobbed over the phone, I transferred funds that day. No hesitation, no grumbling, just aid. Then came shared accounts, a family card for emergencies, my name on their mortgage, temporarily, to aid refinancing. Then my credit score dipped, subtly, like a shadow creeping. I questioned a strange charge from a high-end appliance store once. My father chuckled. "We figured you'd be fine with it. You don't splurge on yourself." My mother said it was for the home. Yours too, technically. Technically. When my aunt needed surgery, I covered half her medical bill unprompted. They emailed the invoice, expecting I'd handle it. I did. When my brother's wedding needed a venue fee, they called it your family contribution. No discussion. Just a $6,700 charge on my app at 3 a.m. I stared at it, told myself it was okay. They'd do the same for me, right? But they didn't. I moved twice in 3 years. No one helped carry a bag. When I had the flu and asked Mom for broth, she said she was drained from Pilates. My birthday? A texted emoji cake and, have a great one. No call, no visit. But for their birthdays I was expected with gifts, bouquets, dinner plans. When I forgot once, Mom gave me the silent treatment for a month. I told myself it wasn't worth arguing. That love shows differently, that I wasn't giving enough. So I gave more, worked harder, kept the accounts flush. I calculated, $2,100, monthly, 6 years, that's $150,200. But I didn't frame it that way, not until that call. She's a leech. Not just overlooked, not just exploited. A leech. A burden. Something that worsened their lives by being. I relived it nightly, heard the clatter of his teacup, the crinkle of his magazine, my mother's murmur agreeing, we should have cut her loose at 18. They planned their getaway while I sat, in a leased flat, paid in cash to finalize the deed transfer silently. I saved every email from the broker, every transaction record, every screenshot. My dream home, bought by me, was now empty. Furniture donated, accounts closed, my name scrubbed from every joint record. One by one, every tie snapped. But I hadn't told them. I wanted them to feel it. That moment came sooner than planned. A week later, my brother texted, "You still paying Mom's counseling, right?" No greeting, no, how's life, just expectation. I replied, sure. Then logged in and canceled the payment, forever. That weekend they posted from Madrid, Dad grinning by the Sagrada Familia. Mom in sunglasses with a cocktail. Caption, chasing dreams. I watched the clip twice. Saw the necklace Mom wore, the one I gifted for their 30th anniversary. No thank you, just claimed it. I logged off, didn't look again. The final deed transfer cleared. The new owners had the keys. I left nothing. No photo, no spoon, no hanger, just a post-it on the door. And a shock. I wasn't their ATM anymore. Their fixer. Their kin. I was the quake they never predicted. They returned Thursday. I knew the date, tracking it like a scientist monitors a brewing tempest, not with dread, but precision. Their last post was a video of sangria glasses toasting under Florentine lights. Mom captioned it, "Family forever." I didn't blink. The house was gone. They didn't know. They landed, tanned and cheerful, dragging their coordinated suitcases through. Arrivals, assuming I was still theirs, obedient, silent, useful. They expected their driveway, their Uber drop-off, their life I'd bankrolled. But the driveway was dark. No car, no glow. Their keys didn't work. I imagined it vividly. Dad squinting at the lock, twisting it futilely. Mom trying hers, then both standing, stunned, waiting for logic to return, until they spotted the post-it. Yellow, bold, unmissable, black marker, all caps. Shock! This is what a leech can do. No signature, unnecessary. The mailbox was removed. The security system disabled. Utilities reassigned. HOA informed. The framed photos in the entryway? Gone. The embroidered linens I gave last Easter? Donated. Their home sweet home plaque? Trashed. Everything was pristine, barren, like they'd never been there, like I'd wiped their ease while they played tourists. And I had. Not to hurt them, that'd suggest feeling. I did it because truth dawned. I wasn't chasing retribution. I was shutting a book long finished. They called, naturally. Dozens of times. First, bewilderment. We're locked out. Can you call the security firm? Then, did the gate code change? Then panic. Where's the furniture? Why's the internet off? Why's your phone dead? I didn't pick up. By midnight, they'd rung every relative. Thought it was a mix-up, a theft, a joke. Then Mom left a voicemail on my office line, the one rarely used. Her voice jagged like she saves for crises. Please, just tell us what's happening. We're in a motel. The house, it's empty. Neighbors saw movers last week. Was that you? Did something go wrong? Yes. Something went wrong. I heard you. I keep that message. Replay it sometimes. Not for glee. There's no joy. But as a marker. Even after calling me a leech, draining my savings and erasing me from every moment that counted, they expected rescue. That's what broke me. That's what clicked. That no matter what I gave, bills paid, birthdays noted, I'd always be disposable, useful, replaceable. They wailed loudest when the funds vanished. Not me. I gave 6 years of silent devotion. They gave silence and demands. A leech, a letdown, a fluke that lived. so I left them what they deserved. Nothing. The aftermath hit the next morning. By 7:13 a.m., 42 missed calls. Mom's 3 voicemails escalated. Confusion, fear, collapse. We need to talk. Please. Tell us what you did. I didn't answer. Instead, I accessed the last banking portal they forgot I controlled. The joint savings I'd set up for emergencies, still holding $12,000. Mostly mine. One click. Moved. To a private fund. Account shut. Gone. Then the insurance. Their former home? Policy still in my name. They never updated it. I canceled it. Notified the insurer of the sale. Watched the confirmation email land. A quiet sense of closure. Another bond severed. One less fiction binding us. That afternoon, Dad emailed. No subject. 600 words of half excuses, half pleas. Claimed I misheard. Leech was about the circumstances, not me. Asked if I'd help find a lawyer to probe the house issue, saying the new owners locked them out wrongly. I nearly smirked. Wrongly? They didn't know the property hadn't been theirs for over a year. I'd shifted the title to a shielded trust with my CPA, which owned the LLC that sold the house for cash. Layered. Ironclad. Untraceable. They weren't just barred from a house. I'd walked away from the cycle. By day 3, my brother texted. The one who'd send PayPal requests with, "You good for this?" Like it was funny. "You're really doing this to Mom and Dad? After all they've done?" I read it twice. All they've done. That phrase lingered like a hum. The gatherings I was excluded from. The vacations I funded but watched online. The therapy I paid for Mom to cope with stress I caused. That's what he meant. All the neglect, all the exploitation, packed into one breezy guilt trip. I didn't reply. Instead, I filed the last legal papers. Estate plans drafted months ago, stripping my family from every contact, directive, and inheritance. Submitted Friday. By Monday, they were legally cut off. No accounts, no safety net. They didn't lose a home. They lost their crutch. Maybe I enabled it too long, mistaking aid for love, delaying the truth. I called the storage facility too. The one I'd paid for, holding their mementos, antiques, boxes they vowed to retrieve soon. I issued a 30-day notice. No extensions. No heads up. A legal eviction notice arrived Tuesday. They emailed the facility, frantic, claiming error. It wasn't. I sold every item I'd bought them, the sofa, the vintage cabinet, the espresso maker they called too posh but took anyway, posted online, sold in 2 days. When PayPal cleared, I made one final transfer, to myself. No note, no words, just calm. The family chat fell silent. No more sly jabs, no more manipulation veiled as humor, just quiet. Mom's last post was a childhood photo of us, captioned, "You were always too fragile." It didn't hurt, it validated. I wasn't fragile, I was finished. They never reclaimed the post-it. Tried, of course. Returned 3 days later with a locksmith. But the locks were new, mailbox gone, ownership locked behind filings they couldn't crack. The locksmith refused entry. The deed wasn't theirs. They left wordlessly. I saw it unfold. Not from afar, not from a screen. From 2 streets over, in an unfamiliar car, engine off, parked under a fading oak. I watched them exit their rideshare, like nobles to a lost realm. Dad looked frailer, diminished. Mom didn't speak, just stared at the door, expecting pity to unlock it. It didn't. They left after 10 minutes. The house stayed still. So did I. That silence, final, complete, was the true close. No showdown, no shouting match in the yard, no debate about loyalty or regret, just the truth. They'd lost the one who kept them afloat. They didn't weep for me. They wept for the money, for the net I'd cut. That net was real, woven from care. But care without respect crumbles. They wept because the fallback vanished, and the leech was the only one with a plan. I made sure they felt that void. I deleted every family chat, every thread, photo drive, shared calendar for holidays I was never invited to. No message. Just absence. Days later, a letter came. Not personal, not signed. A typed page from a legal aid about miscommunications and a state review. I didn't read it. Shredded it and sipped my coffee. 2 days on, my old neighbor texted. "Your parents stopped by, looked lost, just stood in the drive. Lost. Like this wasn't years brewing. Like they hadn't earned it." I blocked the number. They stopped calling after 2 weeks. Reality hit, I think. Not just losing the house, losing me, wholly. My brother tried last, from a new number. "You really done with us forever?" "No, hello." No sorry, just shock. Like my existence without them was impossible. I didn't answer. I walked instead. Evening air crisp, heavy with damp earth. I passed shops I'd run their errands in. The clinic for mom's meds. The florist for unthanked bouquets. Just buildings now, no ties, no burden, no debt. I breathed. First real breath in years. People miss this about the quiet ones, the helpers, the wave avoiders. They assume you'll endure forever. That silence equals consent, that no complaints mean agreement. But silence isn't harmony. Sometimes it's strategy. Now? They rent a flat on the city's fringe. I saw the listing once, house hunting last year. Worn carpet, chipped walls, dim windows facing traffic. I wonder if they gaze out, pondering where it went wrong. If they recall that night, the post-it. Shock. This is what a leech can do. They don't post often now. Mom's feed, once brimming with cafe brunches and family first tags, is just recycled sayings. Don't cut ties, one read. They didn't see the ties were never theirs. They stood on my bridge while I paved the path below. When I left, it collapsed. My accounts are quiet now. No mystery withdrawals. No auto-pays for lights I never used. No payment apps buzzing from kin who only text when bills loom. The money I bled out, it's here. Building. Mine. I moved to a new home. Not grander. Not louder. Just mine. Every rug. Every frame. Every shelf. Picked by me. For me. No guilt in the walls. No echoes of unthanked gifts. Just calm. Just space. Just mine. I sleep better. Sounder. No dreams of did I send the funds? Or will she hate me if I refuse? Those are gone. The void they left is radiant. Some nights I hear that call. She's a leech, a letdown. Never should have existed. I let it ring. Don't argue. Don't justify. Don't plead with shadows. I listen. Then I recall. That house? Mine. That silence? Mine. That note? Final. And I sleep again.